Hey guys, Robbie K here, super geek and major fan of the movies. Welcome to another Robbie's Movie Reviews, and tonight we're going to do our second review, this time on the comedy spiel of Holmes and Watson. Now if you're new to the channel, thank you very much for coming, truly appreciate it, and as such we want to go over kind of what we do. We start with a trailer, don't worry, no spoilers to kind of give you what the movie's about. Hit you up with the likes and dislikes as our last part and a quick and dirty review right before that. So let's go ahead and get started as we review again Holmes and Watson, starring Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. Now, from the trailer, you can pretty much guess this is going to be a giant spoof of Sherlock Holmes, taking the intricate detective who can almost do no wrong and bring with it, hopefully, a comedic spin that will have everyone kind of laughing and hopefully enjoying the new modern spin on everything with it. It looks ridiculous, it looks semi-funny, and it looks like it's got a lot of slapstick to it. But what are the verdict? And that's where I come in. So let's get started. In terms of Holmes and Watson, the truth is I did have fun in this movie, but I can't say that it was the funniest. At least not traditionally for me. Holmes and Watson's main factor was me being able to do my usual trick of superimposing my friends into the various roles. So as a result, that's what I found funnier than anything. But in terms of the audience, I would say that they too found some things they absolutely, loved about the movie and found funny. Mainly some of the delivery, some of the awkward scenes, and definitely those who were cracking up had stated as we were coming out that they were diehard Will Ferrell fans. So you know what? If that is your cup of tea, you're going to love this style. It's not as clever, funny as Step Brothers, but takes the same kind of approach with it. And as such with it, by bringing that approach, I mean, it's essentially trying to revitalize the relationship between the two without it being an exact copy replica. It's over the top, it's ridiculous, it involves the two guys essentially still doing the same thing of slapstick and banter. And if you love that, then again, you're going to find this right on target for you. However, if you're looking for a little more cleverness to it and perhaps a little less kind of smacking yourself in the face / facepalm moments that are sometimes way inappropriate in the way they say stuff, this isn't going to be your cup of tea, especially if you don't like Will Ferrell or John C. Reilly. But overall, the trailer pretty much kind of gave you exactly what it was. A little bit of a mystery, but more ridiculous comedy than anything else. But hey, that's a Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly movie, so you take it or leave it. Now, in regards to its categories of a comedy, I'll probably give it a 6.5 in terms of movie overall. We're looking at probably a 4.5, maybe a 5 at the highest. Not because it's bad, but just because I've seen better executions of the styles that they were going for, or perhaps I've seen it in another movie that just did it better with them. But, you know, that's just kind of the name of the game, and you never know what's going to happen in the world of Hollywood. But enough chitter-chatter. If you had a good time with this video, please hit like, or leave a comment. Tell me how to kind of get better at this. Shares are greatly appreciated because my goal is to help as many people as I can with these reviews. But if you're willing to stick around for a little more of a detailed review, well, here we go, because here's part 2 for you guys. Now, in terms of Holmes and Watson, the first thing that I give it props for is, again, it does have its funny moments. The two of them, if they put their heads together, can come up with some pretty over-the-top stuff, and occasionally, for me, they strike the proverbial comedic gold in terms of either the way they deliver a line, the way that they kind of poke fun at something, or maybe in this case, they hit that right moment where the slapstick and kind of choreography with it were done to the T. And I think they hit that role a number of times, hitting those moments that really kind of worked for me. As for my friend Mary, she definitely laughed a lot more than I did, but that's just because she does enjoy that style. And again, I think it worked very well, but it was just a little over the top for me. In addition, I gotta give props to costume, because they did a nice job bringing the various worlds together in terms of how they display Sherlock to really kind of poke fun at all the styles we've had. So kudos to them for mimicking the style, but still putting their own parody twist to it. That's an enjoyment to see. So I did enjoy that component. The pace was definitely good, fast to the point, and little to no hesitation on anything, so no slow parts. And by far, in terms of kind of its soundtrack, oh, it had an interesting one, but I gotta say the song and dance number was both Mary and I's favorite part. It's really funny how they're, again, picking various styles of Sherlock, whether it be the current modern day series starring Benedict Cumberbatch, the Robert Downey Jr. There are references to a number of the television ones that I think really do work. And this is where the cleverness comes from. While the movie itself isn't all clever, those really good moments and cultural references are certainly some of the things that had me chuckling. And yes, even though there was abrupt poking at some of the common trends, those did work for me a little bit too. I would say in addition to that, the other thing gets props for is that the movie's only about an hour and 25 minutes long. So definitely don't expect to have to be sitting around too long if you get dragged into going to see this one that you don't want to see. But otherwise, that's about all I can say in terms of the likes. Now, in terms of the dislikes, the thing about it is it feels so much like a Step Brothers knockoff by them without it truly reaching the same potential that that one did. The jokes are a little less clever, the banter is a little staler because we've seen it before, and it just did not get executed as much. But even though that was the case for me, they still had no problem making sure to bring in a number of dirty references and a little over the top, which is a little uncomfortable for me and didn't quite hit the same comedic nerve that it hit for others. I'm not the biggest fan of bantering about masturbation and a couple of other things like you've seen in the trailers. So as a result, that's some of the stuff that just kind of went over my head / wasn't as funny to me. And again, with the stale comedy antics, it didn't go as far as it needed to. Throw in the ridiculous factor that, is funny at times, but then just gets overdone and overplayed. And again, you're just hitting something that doesn't quite work for me. The story itself is okay. I can't necessarily say it's a dislike, but it's also not a true like. It's a comedy rendition of it that's just, again, all over the place. And when you throw in some of the lower jokes and some of the things that I'm sure will burn some fires and the blatant attempts to be funny that didn't quite work for me, you just don't have as much to tag you and anchor you into the film. But hey, the movie overall does what it says it's going to do. Again, it's a simplified movie. It's fun. It's got the same kind of magical twist, but it's still lacking some of the earlier work specialty that I think the series was famous for. And again, if you're a big Will Ferrell fan or John C. Reilly fan, you're going to have fun with this film, I feel. Maybe not as much as Step Brothers, but you'll certainly enjoy the comedic spin that they've taken with this, especially if you are a Sherlock fan. That's double points. But if you're looking for a little more story with the comedy tied into it, and a little classier, cleverer comedy outside of a few puns, this is not going to be a film for you, to be honest. I mean, hence why I'm doing this as a very short review. Nevertheless, my score is still saying that they're probably about a 6.5 in terms of its comedy one, because again, we've seen it a lot of times from them, and I just think it was needing a little more extra kick to it. And then, of course, a movie overall, 4.5, 5. And that's not saying that I hate the movie, it's just it didn't add as much as some of the other ones did. But again, this is just my opinion, and I'm always looking forward to discussions with it. Thank you very much. This is my last one for a while. We'll probably be hitting up Escape Room next week when it comes out. But until then, please, again, share, like, tell me how to make this better, and I'll do my best to make it a reality. Thanks, guys, and have a wonderful night. Bye.